For 7 long years, Israel Adesanya lived with a shadow behind him.
Perpetual torment, and those that tasted the bite of his sword.
A name, a fist, a ghost that haunted every victory. Alex Pereira wasn't just a rival.
这个躲真漂亮，非常漂亮啊！
He was a curse carved into Adesanya's story. A man who beat him in kickboxing, followed him to MMA, and took his UFC belt in the final round of a fight Izzy was winning. But on one night in Miami, the story changed forever. This is the night Israel Adesanya finally broke the curse. Before the UFC lights, before the world title, before the millions of fans. There was Brazil, 2016. Israel Adesanya was a rising star in kickboxing fluid, creative, unpredictable. Across from him stood Alex Pereira. Heavy hands, stone-faced, a man whose power came from somewhere ancient. Their first fight was close, technical, but Pereira walked away with the decision. A tough loss for Izzy, but not a nightmare. Not yet. That came 1 year later. 2017. The rematch. Adesanya looked brilliant for most of the fight. Sharp, composed, landing clean shots. And then, a single left hook changed everything. Izzy dropped. Pereira raised his hands. A rivalry was born, and so was a scar that Adesanya carried into MMA. When Adesanya entered the UFC, he rose to the top like a comet. He danced around the division, outclassed opponents, and became the middleweight champion in barely 2 years. Fans saw him as untouchable, but history has a cruel sense of humor. In 2021, Alex Pereira signed with the UFC. The moment the announcement hit, the MMA world froze. Everyone knew what this meant. The ghost had returned. Pereira destroyed Sean Strickland with a brutal knockout, earning a fast track to the title. And at UFC 281, the rivalry crossed into MMA. Adesanya looked incredible. He nearly finished Pereira at the end of round 1. Controlled the fight. Outstruck him. But then came round 5. Izzy stood against the cage. Pereira marched forward. And once again, the left hook landed. History repeated itself. The curse tightened its grip.
Similar thing between you and Kamaru. Winning the fight in the last round, you just lose the fight. Like, what happened?
Given all that, do you believe, a rematch, is that what you're going to hunt?
Of course. Come on, man. And yeah, it's another great story for him, but it's not over. This is still war.
After UFC 281, Adesanya was quiet, not broken, but calculating. He didn't run from the loss. He didn't ask for tune-up fights. He wanted Pereira again, immediately. And there was a simple, brutal reason. This rivalry wasn't about belts. It wasn't about rankings. It was personal. Adesanya trained like a man preparing not for a fight, but for an exorcism. He spoke openly about his mistakes, about the dangers of staying still against a power puncher like Pereira. But he also spoke about belief, the kind you build after years of being haunted by the same opponent. Miami, UFC 287, the rematch. The 4th chapter of a rivalry stretching across continents and sports.
Today night, time for talking is done. I'm going to show him my fighting spirit. And you all know I have that.
About regaining the UFC title and being world champion again, or just simply beating?
Fuck the belt. I'm coming for his head. I'm done with this talking shit. You guys want to hear me talk or you want to hear me fight?
Ele fez isso.
Official weight 184. Official weight 185 for the champion.
Round 1 felt like deja vu. Pereira with the pressure, Izzy circling, both men reading each other's timing. But there was a difference. Adesanya wasn't running. He was waiting. He used calf kicks to slow Pereira's stance. He hid his right hand behind feint movements and shoulder rolls. He gave Pereira small moments of confidence, just enough to pull him forward. This was not fear. This was a trap. Round 2. Pereira pushes Adesanya against the cage, the same place where he finished him 5 months earlier. He unloads heavy shots to the body and legs. The crowd rises. Commentators start remembering UFC 281. But Adesanya wasn't hurt. He was baiting the exact overcommitment that ended the first chapter. Pereira steps in, hands slightly lowered, and Izzy fires the perfect right hand. Pereira collapses. A second right hand flies as Pereira falls to the canvas. The curse shatters. The arena explodes. Israel Adesanya stands over his rival, bows the imaginary bow, and fires the arrow into the man who haunted him for 7 years. When the fight ended, Adesanya didn't just celebrate. He roared, a release of 7 years of frustration, doubt, and pain. This wasn't just another title defense. This was closure. He said it himself after the fight. I told you, I'm hunting now. For Pereira, it was a rare moment of defeat, but also respect.
Honestly,
He nodded.
I'm the hunter now.
Accepted the result.
I've just been
and
hunting.
walked out with the dignity of a warrior who always came to fight. 2 men, 4 fights, 2 sports, a rivalry that will be remembered for decades. But on this night, the ghost finally disappeared, and Israel Adesanya reclaimed not just his belt, but his story. Some rivalries are won with skill, some with power, but this one was won with belief. This was the night Adesanya finally broke the curse.